Please forgive me for my disheveled appearance. I will make this as brief as possible. Not long ago, I uploaded a video of the recent case of an alleged GMRS repeater jammer that received a public notice of violation from the FCCs of these United States. And in that video, I read the publicly available notice of violation, which included information such as the alleged GMRS repeater jammer's GMRS call sign and the alleged GMRS repeater jammer's full legal name. Today, I have received a notification from YouTube of a privacy violation complaint against that video. And the YouTube is now requiring that this information in that video either be removed or that video be taken down. Of course, there is no way to know who filed this complaint because that information is private. Now, to be clear, I am not complaining about YouTube. It's YouTube's platform. It's YouTube's rules, and we all have to play by their rules. Although, admittedly, I did not think that reading a publicly available document, legal document, violated any rules. I stand corrected. So this video is simply a re-upload of that original video with all of the offending private information removed so as not to violate anyone's privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to be serious for just a moment. In the past, I have very publicly pointed out right here on this YouTube channel the fact that since about 2012, the FCC has executed virtually zero enforcements for simple violations against GMRS, ham, and CB radio operators. Then very suddenly, about 3 months ago, the FCC, out of the blue, issued 3 enforcements across ham, CB, and GMRS, all for minor type infractions against non-business entities, meaning regular people, bringing the total for this type of enforcements up to 3 since the year 2012. And now we have this breaking news of yet another GMRS user receiving an enforcement from our FCCs, this time against the GMRS user in the city of Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, right here in my formerly Cheeto-stained fingers, I am holding the actual enforcement record against one alleged repeater jammer. So my friend, please take a moment to get comfortable whilst I read to you this FCC complaint against Mr. alleged repeater jammer and explain to you what it means in simple human terms in a way that only I, El Rando, have the talent to do. Dated August 24th in the year of our Lord Xenu 2023. This is a notice of violation issued pursuant to Section 189 of the Commission's rules to alleged repeater jammer, licensee of GMRS station in Steelton, Pennsylvania. Pursuant to Section 1.89a, blah, 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 the Commission goes on to allege on August 3, 2023 and August 7th, 2023, in response to a complaint of intentional interference to the 462.625 MHz repeater in Mount Holly, Pennsylvania, agents of the Enforcement Bureau's Columbia office monitored the transmissions from station on the frequency 467.625 MHz and observed the following violations. So this means that Mr. alleged repeater jammer was jamming a GMRS repeater and someone, probably a lot of someone's, issued a complaint to the FCCs because, my friend, jamming a repeater is the radio equivalent to being a pedophile. Damn it. And in response to those complaints, the FCC's foot soldiers observed the following violations as outlined in the complaint. Alleged repeater jammer used station to transmit music on 467.625 MHz, blocking use of that frequency for other communications and licensees, and used station to transmit continuous tones on 467.625 gigahertz, blocking use of that frequency for other communications and licensees. So Mr. Saromage was jamming the repeater using music and tones of some fashion, resulting in, no doubt, many angry GMRS repeater users. The enforcement goes on to read, Saromage failed to transmit his assigned call sign while transmitting on the frequency, and, the most surprising of the violations, operated a non-certified GMRS radio on GMRS frequencies. Ladies and gentlemen, this truly is a first in the recent history of the FCC's oppression against the citizens of these United States. In the past, I have lamented numerous times and in multiple videos about the FCC's not caring if anyone uses a non-certified GMRS radio to transmit on GMRS frequencies. For example, using a Boofwang UV5R ham radio to transmit on GMRS frequencies. Ladies and gentlemen, the FCC's is really throwing the book at Mr. Alleged Repeater Jammer. So while you can burn down half a city in a mostly peaceful protest and get away with it, don't you dare use a non-certified radio on GMRS in this banana republic. So what exactly is going to happen to Mr. Alleged Repeater Jammer? The letter sent to Mr. Jammer specifies that Mr. Jammer must respond in writing and fully explain each violation, and he must, and ladies and gentlemen, this is the important part, Mr. Jammer must include a statement of the specific action he has taken or will take to correct each violation and preclude the reoccurrence of these violations. In other words, Mr. must respond in writing and explain how he is going to not do this anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically, Mr. Jammer has received a mean letter from the FCC's, something that we have joked about right here on this very podcast many times before, and Mr. Alleged Repeater Jammer must respond in writing to let the FCC's know that he has stopped committing these radio atrocities. Or Mr. may face another mean letter, such as this one that he's already received, or even a non-binding notice of the issuance of a fine. Ladies and gentlemen, by my count, this is now 4 enforcements that the FCC's have executed for simple non-business violations since the year 2012. Yes, you heard that math correctly. 4 since the year 2012. 4 enforcements in 11 years. However, all 4 of those enforcements have occurred in the last 90 days. So, my friend, act and prepare accordingly.